let's get right into this one. Thank you. I'll stand back and wait for the applause. This one is what you think it is. Like you sit down for 2 seconds, I won't have you stand there like a creeper again. I actually brought 2 gimmicks with me. I should have, in hindsight, picked up the other one. In the UK, the most common type of house key we have is an SR2. It's bad that I know the serial number. But it's the one with a circular head. Alright? So that's generally the gimmick I will take. Now here's a crazy thing. His key is brass. My gimmick is silver. No one ever pays attention. At one point I'd actually got one of these keys and had the back end of it stained brass, so I could just rotate it and use the gimmick for each. After a while I figured out no one notices the colour. I don't know why. They're just too busy thinking, that little git just broke my key. And I've actually had guys come in and grab me by the throat as I'm still midway through doing this. But yeah, I kid you not. This one big guy actually had me really against the wall. But I digress. In the States I found these are the more common keys. And again, you have one of these on here. In hindsight, you had one of these as well, I believe. Yeah, except yours is all designed and stuff. So in hindsight, I really should have used this one, but hey, it done the job just as well. And basically all you're doing is, you can left hand or right hand, it's entirely up to you, just have this clipped in between your first 2 fingers. Now you'll notice that I leave it just below the first knuckle of my middle finger. So that means if I wanna, I can put a set of keys on there. And it just looks like I'm displaying the keys, alright? I prefer to do this with my left hand. So I'll make sure the key I want is up at the front, my finger goes in, and I'm going to rotate it up and around and just let it fall down the back. Now, don't worry, as you're doing this, I just pinch this key at the back with my thumb. Don't worry about flashing, because you're holding a lot of metal things in your hand. For all they know, this is just part of their keys. And let that drop. Again, just re-grip with your 2 fingers here. And I'm going to pick up the next thing and say, no, if it's a key, pick it up and say, no, that one. In fact, this one is the perfect one. And you're going to come up like this and bring this into view. Alright? If it's a carabiner, like it is here, just say, oh, that's the only keys we have on this side. Alright, well this one will have to do then. And all you're doing is bringing up your gimmick from here, up and into view. Now I put it so the hole is above the key fob here, so it's just sitting there. But this finger covers where the hole is. Alright? So you're here and you just pretend to break. So again, from here, you come up, pinch with your thumb at the back and just hold it there and let them get a vision of that first. Now at this point, again, this is a different colour, but I have never had anyone say that's not my key. And then just dig your nail into the back and pop off. And it gives you that sort of audible snapping moment as you pull back. Now if you want, at this point you can say, in fact here, don't worry, I can fix this. Now, this key here at the back just sits there the whole time, just against these 2 fingers. So even when I'm here and I flip this back, I let it rest there. So as I come up and pop it, it means as I go to put this back on, I can just let the keys drop slightly, and all that's going to do is bring that up and into view as my thumb takes it. Alright, in fact, let me come around this way so I'm not blocking it for you. So I'm here, I come up, I snap. This key is just chilling out here. As I come back to put this back on, my thumb goes under and just pulls up. Alright? Now as I'm here, just rotate that into your fingers into a sort of loose fingertip clip and hold it. And now you've healed the damn thing. At this point I'll usually have them pinch the top end of the key, and I'll bring this hand up and rub the bottom end as this hand goes south with your gimmick. So in a sort of full fluent motion, you have this in a clip. You come up, put your hand in, you display that key, say, yeah, that one will maybe do. As I come back down, it just rests on top of those fingers. I will bring this up and say, no, in fact, yeah, that one's the one we want. Here, watch. You pop it off. Now, you could pretend to swallow it at this point, which I like to do. And again, I only started doing this for magicians, because I always think it's a gimmick key and I have a piece here for some reason. So I'll pretend to swallow it and I'll take a sip out of a can so they think I've ditched a spare piece in there. I mean, I've had that magician at the end come up and rattle the can and try and figure out where it went. That's the nice thing about it, there's no extra bit. But again, at that point, once you're here, you go, if you want to just pretend you're putting it back on, bring your hand back down. As soon as your hand covers, your thumb is just going to go underneath and push up as this finger pulls it out and round and holds. And that is broken home. In fact, I'll give you those back. Thank you kindly, bud.
It's funny, I never even noticed the color difference.
Did you notice the colour?
I didn't notice.
No one ever does. I genuinely thought I got busted at one point. And this guy, he was just looking at me a little bit funny. And I was like, oh, this isn't going well. And I thought, I was like, he's not buying this. And then I put it back on, and I gave him it back. And I went to say, thanks for playing along, just to be nice to him. And I was like, as I got the thanks out, I was like, that's awesome, how did you? And he's sitting playing with it. I'm like, all right, that maybe flew then. Jeez, guy. Right, for the next one. Any questions on that one, I should say?
Just, I think you mentioned it, the safest way to break a key.
The safest way to break a key is to go to a keysmith. If you go to a keysmith, in the UK they call it a burn key. It's generally what they do. If they're cutting a key and the machine goes in too much or out too much, they can't legally keep that key because it could open something else for all they know. So they call it a burn key. They take the machine and they just go through the very end out. So just take it into one of these places and say, can you give me a burn key? If over here they don't do that, or if in your country they don't do it, just take a key, a small little hacksaw, and gently go through, or if you have a Dremel, and take it off. It's the easiest way to do it. If you're too young, if you have a shop teacher in school, just ask them to cut a key for you, basically. But it does mean you will have to go and buy a spare key. Now, one thing I was saying before, it's very regional because the heads of the key change. In the UK, all the most common ones are round, and the most common keys people have on them are copper. But again, you do get copper and silver, so if you want, make one up of each. But go get a key cut so you get one that is area specific to you, because you'll generally find that'll be the same sort of shape most people will have. It's an odd thought, and you don't think you would have to think about it, but weirdly we do. Any more? Awesome. Right. Oh, you're just tapping away. Sorry to apologise. Yeah. Right. Next one. Who are we going to pick on for this one? Yeah, we'll go. No, in fact, can we use you if you mind? You can sit there. Sorry, I can come up to you for this one. All right, come on up. That's fine. Now, before you came here, did you go for a meal today?
Yeah.
Right. I have got a very specific place I love.
Okay.
I love this place. It's in Dovermilk. It's a Scottish brand. It's called Demi's. Right. In fact, here, I'll hold it up this way so the camera can get a wee zoom in on that. Now, the good Demi's is Italian. See, if you give me pasta and meat, I'm awesome. Like spaghetti bolognese and meatballs and that stuff. Now, on the receipt, they've got a bunch of places. Just grab one nice and quick. You got one on there?
Yeah.
Awesome. Put that down so I can't change it. For the first time, you've not told anyone what this is, yeah? It's the first time you probably laid eyes on it.
What did you say?
It's the first time you've laid eyes on this, yeah?
Yes.
Now, just in your head, just get it up there. I'm just trying to think, are you going to be a person that goes for Glasgow?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Perfect. Get in. Come on, guys, you just read his damn mind. I'm joking, that's not the main trick. The main trick is this. In Scotland, if you're going to pay via like a credit card, usually there's a little signature strip you would have to do. Let me hold this up so they can see it. Can you see that? There's a little signature section. What I'd like you to do, let me just grab my pen. Grab that for me.
Okay.
Whoop. Awesome. Can you just put your signature on there for me?
All right.
Perfect. That'll do it. That means you're paying for lunch. I'm kidding on, don't panic. I paid by chip and pin, so you don't have to use that kind of part. Now, I also need a card. What will I use? My gym card will do. I usually use a playing card for this bit. But what we're going to do, just fold this up, is I need to take off a section of this. And I'm very pernickety about getting a nice clean cut, so I use a card just to... There we are. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Wait, what hand do you write with?
Right.
You're righty. I didn't spot that. Awesome. Now make sure I'm not doing it funny. Still your signature?
Okay.
Awesome. Put your hand up for me and grab tight. As tight as you can. Hold on.
Okay.
Now we're going to make this piece jump all the way back in. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
If you just grab it, bring it forward a bit for me and tap. Done. It's in there. Go for it. Check.
Really?
Yeah, open your hand up. Check. Now if you open that up,